Guidelines on the required health standards in basic education offices and schools. The united efforts of the country against COVID-19 have been instrumental in slowing the spread of the virus and the disease. However, its full containment has not yet been attained. In this time of threat, challenges, and uncertainties brought about by the pandemic, the Department of Education, DEP-Ed, is committed to find ways for learning opportunities to be provided, while ensuring the health, safety, and welfare of all learners, teachers, and personnel. As stipulated in Resolution Number 29 of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, IATF, dated April 27, 2020, all decisions to impose, lift, or extend community quarantine rests with the IATF, although local authorities may impose enhanced community quarantine upon the concurrence of their respective regional interagency task groups. The decision to impose, lift, or extend community quarantine should be based on the parameters identified in IATF Resolution Number 19, which include trends in the COVID-19 epidemiological curve, which include, among others, the doubling time, acceleration, or deceleration of new cases, b. capacity of the healthcare system, which includes, among others, the number and availability of quarantine, isolation, and treatment facilities, the capability to mount contact tracing, availability of personal protective equipment, PPEs, to frontliners, and the testing capacity of the country, c. social factors, d. economic factors, and e. security factors. Guided by its Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, BLCP, the Department of Health, DOE, Guidelines on the Risk-Based Public Health Standards for COVID-19 Mitigation, DOE Administrative Order No. 20,200,015, other applicable guidelines by the DOE and the IATF, and policy directives by the President, DEP-Ed adopts the required health standards to be followed in all basic education schools and community learning centers, CLCs, and DEP-Ed offices, when and to the extent that personnel, teachers, non-teaching personnel, and learners will already be allowed to physically return to DEP-Ed schools and/or offices. 2. Scope and coverage. 4. The DEP-Ed required health standards for COVID-19 mitigation shall be applicable to the DEP-Ed Central Office, CO, regional offices, ROS, schools, division offices, SDOs, and all public and private elementary and secondary schools, DLCs nationwide, consistent with applicable guidelines from the DOE and the IATF, the policy directives of the President, and taking into consideration the socio-cultural context of their respective localities. The specific measures for COVID-19 mitigation in schools/CLCs and offices are detailed further in Enclosure Number 2 and Enclosure Number 3, respectively.